This video is sponsored by Medo Kids Shop.
My name is Pascaline Nana Adwoa. I have a cleaning company. I run a janitorial service. I have 2 kids. The first one is Kukua Kranchwa. She's 1 year, 9 months. And then the second one is Kwabne Duenin. He's 6 months going on 7. For my first, I would say it was planned, it wasn't planned because, well, as they say, man proposes, God disposes. I think when I was planning, God had already planned. So when I thought I was pregnant, I was already pregnant long before I knew I was thinking I was pregnant. So I got a pregnancy test kit because my menses wasn't coming. I got a pregnancy test kit. I tested the first time at dawn and it was positive, but the lines were faint. So I waited again. The following day, I did it again. The third time, I did it again, and then it was thickened. So I went to see my doctor, and then I went to do a blood test, and it was... I was expecting it, so I was happy. Because, well, say no piano starts here. It's not everyone who gets it at the first go. But when I said to myself I was ready, God blessed me with it. So I was happy. I was excited because I thought it was the right time. I would say some of the hard things. Okay, I'll say my first pregnancy was the hardest. It was a new experience, obviously. Even though some people, their first experiences are normal, mine wasn't. My first trimester, I will fall sick. I couldn't go to the kitchen at all. I couldn't open my fridge at all because I didn't like the scent coming from my fridge. So I had to do with normal water, room temperature water. Because whenever I open my fridge, I would throw up. I love onions. I don't cook without onions. I don't do anything without onions. But for my first pregnancy, I hated onions. I didn't want to see it. I could smell onions like 10 feet away. I didn't want to do anything with onions. If you cook for me and you even blend, I'll know there's onion in my food. I wouldn't eat it. And I love rice. I can eat rice every day for 365 days. But for the first pregnancy, I didn't want to eat rice. I didn't want to see rice. I couldn't cook. I was always spitting. At night, I would have to wake up to go and spit. The spit would wake me up from my sleep. Yeah, it was that terrible. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. But for the second one, oh, sister, I enjoyed it. I have to look at my tummy to realize I was pregnant because I was strong, I was healthy, I could cook whatever I wanted to eat. When I go to sleep at night, I think of what I want to eat the following day, how I want to put the ingredients together. And when I wake up, I will cook. So I cooked like almost every day because every day I want to eat something different. I'll think of, what if I do a boom with contombre and I put all the Kobe head inside with the momone, with the this, and I should try a lot of onions in. I wanted to experiment with food. I was enjoying myself and I was taking all my cold drinks, my cold water. I was cool, crowd. But the first one there, it wasn't easy. The first one wasn't easy at all. At all. It wasn't a smooth journey. But I enjoyed it. Everything has its ups and downs, so I enjoyed it. It was cool. The first one, I never missed antenatal. The second one, I thought I had become pro, so I made it to 2-1-1, yeah. But the first one, I don't miss antenatal. I was always there, right on time. Well, I learned about pregnancy, diabetes in pregnancy. I learned about preeclampsia. I learned about so many things. How to take care of the baby, how to burp a baby, how to bathe for the baby, not to use hot water to, do their head because it wasn't necessary. A lot of things, yeah. Antenatal was good. It helped. Yeah, I'll say me, I'm blessed. I'm a blessed child. My birthday alone speaks volumes of my blessing because I'm 8888. Yes, I'm quadruple 8. So I'm blessed. Both kids. My first, I wanted a girl. I said I wanted a girl. And even when I went to the hospital to do the scan, I told the sonographer I wanted a girl. He should check and let me know. If it's not a girl, I won't leave here today. So he checked and he was like, you have it. I'm like, I have what? He said, what you want? You have it. I'm like, is it a girl? He said, yes, check, look, can't you see? Look. And he was showing me. I'm like, wow. When I went the second time, the same guy was like, what baby? I'm like, yes, at this time, opening. Now I'm saying, boy. So he checked and he was like, hey, who did the open beer you get? I'm like, yeah, because it's me. He was like, hey, this one, so you have it. He said, boy. I'm like, well, my son, before I checked his gender, we were all calling him Junior. We were going to name him after my husband's dad. So we're all calling him Junior. Even before we checked for the gender, we believed it was a boy. And I kept telling them it's a boy. And they were like, how do you know? I'm like, it's me carrying the pregnancy. I know how I'm feeling. This feeling is different from the first time. If that feeling gave me a girl and this one is different, then this is a boy. So I don't know, for some reason, when I wanted a girl, I knew I was going to get a girl. When I wanted a boy, I knew I was going to get a boy. On the day of delivery, the first one, the night before I went to the hospital, I mean, I was already 42 weeks gone. I was just hoping and praying every day. Before that night, every day I'll wake up at dawn, sit on my bed, put my hands on my tummy. I'll go like, oh God, when is this baby coming? I'm so tired already. Like my back is killing me. I can't sleep. I'm tired. My thighs ache. My whole body aches. I'm tired. But that night, I woke up to go and pee. I was spotting. I thought it was okay. Internet was telling me your water has to break, you have to feel some pain, something. Those things were not there. So for me, I thought it was still fine. I was waiting for the water to break before I knew that something was happening. So in the morning, my auntie came up to my room. Are you okay? I said, yes. I heard you go to the bathroom a couple of times. I said, oh, I went to pee. I saw a spot of. She was like, oh my God, let's rush to the hospital. I'm like, nothing is happening. I'm fine. She was like, hey, Nana, come, go and bath. Let me call the doctor. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this woman is overreacting. Because according to Google, water has to break. I have to feel, there's no pain, so why is she even over? She calls the doctor and the doctor is like, rush her now, I'm coming, oh my God. I'm like, these people, are they okay? There's nothing, I can't even feel anything. So I took my time, went to shower. She quickly said, let's go, I'll come and get her hospital staff. I'm like, why are we rushing? Me, I even want to eat fufu. So that one. But the second one, I had a scheduled CS. So I had a date to be in the hospital. Yeah, so I just packed up my stuff, went to the hospital, did the normal test, and waited to be taken to the theater. So the first one, I went post-term because I was hoping and praying I'll deliver on my own. But because from Monday, I was in labor pains, the baby wasn't coming, I had dilated only 1 centimeter, and it was taking forever. So my gynae came and said they had to take me to the theater. So the first one, I had a CS. It was actually an emergency CS, yes. But the second one was a scheduled CS. So I had another one because after my first, it didn't take long for me to get pregnant again. So doctor said there's no way he would allow me to push. So I had 2 CS, yeah. My first one, because of everything that had happened before the baby came, having to wait to push, hoping that I was going to push and deliver on my own, and then everything, I was just thankful that she was fine. Even though I could, in the theater, I was there, I could hear the doctors chatting away. The doctor was even chatting with me. The anesthetist was chatting with me. She kept telling me, oh, you can sleep if you want to. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm not sleeping, no. I want to see that baby and make sure she's fine before if I want to. But I really wanted to sleep. I was still holding myself not to sleep. So I was there. I could hear the choco, 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 choco. Then I heard, ah! In my head, I'm like, oh, thank God, finally, this journey has come to an end. So doctor was like, at the moment I heard the nga, the doctor was like, you, this baby are so stubborn. Is this what you've been doing in your mother's stomach? Then he called my auntie and said, come and see what your grandchild has been doing. She has tied herself with her umbilical cord. How was her mother going to push? There was no way Nana could have pushed. She would have died with this child. At that moment, I was so thankful. I'm like, God, what would I have done to have come this far? And then they'll tell me no. Well, so the midwife brought her. I was like, Mommy, can you see your baby? I said, yes. What is she? I said, a girl. I said, are you happy? I said, yes. Then they took her away. Then I slept off. The second one, I think basically the same thing. But that one I was in the theater alone. There was no relative. So the doctor did his thing. The same gynae. He did his thing. The midwife brought the baby. Mommy, have you seen your baby? I said, yes. What is this? I said, it's a boy. She said, are you happy? I said, yes. Then they took him to our way. That one, so I was thankful. Because even though I was fine throughout the journey, it's not everyone who goes and comes home with the baby or even by herself. So I was thankful my baby was fine and I was fine as well. So yes, I was happy. I was, that feeling, I don't know if there's any word to describe it, but I can only say I was happy and I was thankful. Yeah. The spitting, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Cry. For the first one, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. If I had my own way, I wouldn't do it. But it's something you can't do anything about it. So, I didn't like it. Yeah, the first one, like I said, my mom doesn't live here. So, the first one, I had support from an aunt. I had to move in with her because she has a lot of things to do. So I moved in with her. She helped me for a month. And after that 1 month, I was on my own with my baby. Yes. I mean, a fresh CS mother with a baby. And see, I think it made me strong. And it has really made me learn. So I know how to do everything for a baby. Everything. So I keep telling my sister, if you have a baby now, I can do from the moment you come home from the hospital, I can do everything. So from that 1 month, I started bathing for her, caring for her feeding time, everything. But the second one, my mother-in-law came to help me. I mean, she's a good woman. She's a sweet woman. She moved in with me. She took care of the baby. She bathed for the baby, and even the first one. So she was helping me with both of them. She's still helping me now. Yeah. Okay, that one. The first one, I always say the first CS, the pain was bearable. But that again, I'll say bearable as in, I think everyone has a way of dealing with pain, and everyone has how to describe pain. They have their own level of pain. I would say the first CS was bearable. It was okay. I healed quickly. The day I had my CS, by the following day, I was able to wake up, walk, take a shower by myself. By the time the nurse will come and help me, I had finished bathing. And she was like, wow, that's good. But the second one was not easy. The second one I hear is always not easy. And I hear even a third one is worse. So I asked the anesthetics, and he said, the more CS you do, the more pain it is, because they have to work with a lot more muscles and tissues. So he asked me, didn't I realize I even spent a longer time in the theater than the first time? I said yes. He said yes. So the second was much painful, and it took a longer time for me to heal than the first time. I think because the first time is a fresh spot. they cut it. But the second time, they have to cut the same spot and cut it longer and bring out that baby for you. So I think that is why the healing process is quite slow. Yeah, so the second one, the healing process was quite slow. That is why I'm saying to the glory of God that I won't go again. I have finished. I thank God. At least I have both genders. What else am I looking for? So, yeah. Because I don't think I can cope with the third one. Because the pain I felt for the second one, even when I came home from the hospital, to walk from here, from the living room to my room, would take me forever. Because when I put my feet on the floor, I will feel the pain. I couldn't wake up at night to breastfeed. I mean, when he's crying, the speed with which I'd have to wake up to breastfeed, I couldn't, because the pain I was in, it wasn't easy. The second one had a toll on me. It did. But the first one, I healed so quickly. I didn't even know I had done anything, because 1 month I was bathing, I was doing my own thing. But this one, I think in a month I was still healing. Yeah, even as and now, I still feel pain. And where I had my anesthesia, I still feel a lot of pain there on my back. Yeah. My first daughter, I mean, we were very consistent. But the second one, with all this COVID-19, honestly, I was scared to take him anywhere. Even though they said babies were, but no, that small OCD part of me wouldn't just allow me to take him anywhere. I was scared. So I think we had a BCG in the hospital before we came home. I don't know, but for some reason, I really wanted to do that before we come home. I didn't even know we're going to get into all this coronavirus thing. But before we came home, I insisted they get the community health nurse to come and give him his BCG. Because I wouldn't want to bring him home and say, oh, don't touch him because I haven't. And you know, Ghana, people will take offense. Intimate to cut everything short. They should just give him the BCG. So when we come home and probably someone comes to visit, I don't have to do the whole. But so far, so good. We've gone for all our injections. There's 2 months, 3 months, and 4 months. We've done all of it. My daughter too is on track with all her immunizations and vaccinations. So I think I do well. I think because my mother-in-law was telling me in the past the way they used to do circumcision, I was scared. I'm like, if that's what they were going to do to him now, then I won't do it. Because they said they used to call wanzam to come and do something. They'll be putting kubeangwa. And she was like, for 7 days, you won't sleep. You'll just be putting the kubeangwa on there. I'm like, God, no, what is this thing? I'm like, no. So she was like, oh, right now they said they put some ring and then they just remove the thing and the baby is. I'm like, yeah. We got to the hospital. We joined the queue. When the babies go, I'll wait and then I'll hear them screaming. And I'm like, hey, can I do this thing? Do you know when the nurse came for my baby, I got up and went to stand at the OPD. I left my mother-in-law there because I didn't want to hear him scream. I mean, I'll cringe out. So I just waited. When I saw they had brought him out, then I went for him. I gave him breast milk. He was okay. On the way home, he kept crying. We got home. I didn't even want to change his diaper because I didn't want to look at the thing. My mother-in-law was like, you don't know. You are so fortunate. In those days, I'm like, stop this Wanzam story. It's breaking my heart already. I can't take this thing. Then she was like, this one is nothing. This is fine. See, they even put diaper for him. In those days, when the Wanzam comes, we don't even put napkin, because it will bruise the sore. We just keep putting the kubeangwa. I'm like, thank God for this new ring because I can't. But my baby healed so fast. I think by 3 days' time, the ring came off. Yeah, his ring came off in 3 days. Yeah, so he was fine, cry. How do I do that? I'm still doing that. My daughter, because of the cartoons she watches and everything, she knows this is the way you brush your teeth. So when you sing for her and you take her to the bathroom, she sees her toothbrush. She says, Mommy, teeth. or mommy, brush. So she already wants to brush. Just that after brushing, taking the toothbrush from her is a problem, because she wants to now play with it and try to do her own thing. But because it wasn't so easy trying to brush for her. Potty training, that is where I find a bit difficult, because I don't, she doesn't sleep with me. She sleeps with her grandma. So the whole having to wake her up at night to put her on the potty, and during the day, because of the baby, and I'm here, I'm there, I honestly, I'm not having the time to potty train her. But I know once I put my mind to it, I'll do that in a week. But so I do it today, I'll do it tomorrow, I won't do it. I have this lackadaisical attitude to it, but I know once I put my mind to do it, I will do it. So yeah, caring for my first hasn't been so difficult. And my second he started eating at 4 months because the breast milk was not enough for him. And he doesn't like the bottle. He doesn't like a feeding bottle. When you give it to him, he wouldn't take it. So I was trying to supplement the breast milk with the SMA, but he doesn't want the feeding bottle. So there was no way he would take it. If you give it to him, he won't take it. If you put the breast milk in the feeding bottle, he won't take it. If you put SMA in the feeding bottle, he won't take it. So by 4 months, I had to start giving him all these Heinz and Cow and Gates food, supplements, So I started, when you give it to him, Metitimana Odi, and he doesn't joke with his food. When it comes to food, he doesn't play. He will eat it par. So he too, he's cool, he's okay. And bathing for them, caring for them. Yeah, I'm a pro already, so I'm doing my thing. And grandma too is here. Oh, my son adjusts quickly. He's a fast learner. The first day I decided to give him food with a spoon, it was as if he was doing it for a long time. He didn't struggle. He didn't cry. I took about 2 ounces of the food. He ate everything. He didn't say, he didn't cry, he didn't fidget, he didn't try to, like, what is this you are putting in my mouth? Get it out. No, he didn't do that. He just ate it. Before, we were chatting away. Everyone pretended they didn't see what he was doing. So before we would say Jack, he had finished. My mother-in-law was like, wow, we've been starving this boy. It means he's hungry. I'm like, yeah, I think he's hungry. So it just continued from there. I think he's a quick learner. He easily adjusts, Because when I'm not home, he'll eat his food, he wouldn't cry. But the moment he hears my voice, he'll start crying because he wants his breast milk. But when I'm not home, he doesn't cry for breast milk. He'll eat, he'll be with grandma, he'll be okay. But the moment he sees my face or he hears my voice, that's when the breast milk journey has to. I think every child is special. And then I keep asking myself, who even set these milestones in the first place? That, for instance, by 6 months, your baby should have sat upright on their own. Who sets these things? Because I think every baby is special. And then they do their thing, their own time. My daughter, by 5 months, she could sit on her own. By 5 months, she could sit on her own. We thought she would walk early, but she walked at 11 months. Because everyone thought the way she was smart, she was, oh, this one, I think by 8 months she'll be walking. By 8, everybody was saying their own. By 9 months she'll be walking. But she did her own thing in her own time. My son is 6, and he's still, I think he's enjoying his baby last something. Because he doesn't even want to sit on his own. When you leave him, he will be there for a while. He will start crying. He wants to be carried, or he wants to be, So I don't really push them. I don't push them too much. I try. I try to help them to meet them. But I ask myself, who even set these milestones in the first place? Who said at this time they should do this, or they should do that, or they should do... I think every baby is special. And I think God created babies differently. The way they think is different from us. They are very smart. My mom will say, they are politicians. They know what they are doing. Never say, oh, she can't hear me. They understand that they know what they are doing. When you say stop, they know you mean stop. But I think they just want to push you small to see if they can get their way around you. Babies are too smart. You try to make them do something. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. You can't force them. No. My first was supposed to start school before this whole coronavirus thing. But no, she'll be 2 in October. So she's not yet 2. But we've been homeschooling her. I mean, grandma, kindergarten teacher, Warita auntie. Yeah, we've been homeschooling her. We have a tablet for her. So she knows all the letters of the alphabet. She knows numbers from 1 to 10. She knows how to recite some rhymes and sing some. So yeah, we've been trying for her. Oh, my first daughter, she from day one, she's not, she doesn't sleep easily. She sleeps when she wants to sleep. Like I said, they do things on their own. I mean, in their own time, on their own. So from day one, even from the hospital, the nurses kept saying, every baby is sleeping. Why is your baby not sleeping? I'm like, I don't know. The earliest she will sleep is 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. My daughter can be awake till 5 a.m. before she goes to sleep. Yeah. And her mind is so active. Around 2 a.m. is when she wants to recite alphabets, or she'll bring her board for you to write the alphabets for her to recite. And her grandma is like, me who be that? Students are all she teacher. 2 a.m. Mana nesi teacher on chewazi. Teacher wa bread, teacher wa upon okufi. She wants to learn, she wants to do, she's too active. Her mind is always active. It's like she feels when she goes to sleep, we will play and leave her. So she doesn't want to sleep. But my son, once he's satisfied and I give him breast milk, he will easily fall asleep. So if he's not sleeping, it's either diaper change, or he wants to burp, or he's not fully satisfied. Then I know when I do any of this, he will just go asleep. But my first daughter, you can do whatever you want to do. If she doesn't want to sleep, she doesn't want to sleep. She will only sleep when she comes to you and say, Mommy, do-da. It means she wants you to sing for her to sleep. So there's a song we'll sing, do-da, kukwa, do-da. Then she'll just go to sleep. But she doesn't sleep easily. She'll take forever. I think she got that thing from me. I'd never want to say it, but I think it's...
Today everybody has said.
Well. I think I didn't wait for maybe 2 years or 3 years before having my second. Because 1 year, 9 months and 6 months. That has been the most challenging because they are both still babies. So having to still do 2 babies, running around, they are both seeking for attention. The 2 of them are not understanding certain things. I'm carrying baby and Kukwa still thinks I have to carry her too. They are both seeking for attention at the same time. I think apart from that, I'm fine. That has just been, I mean, if Kukwa was a bit older, she would understand, oh, it's nothing, it's just baby having his baby time with mommy. I would also have, but she still doesn't have that understanding. She's still fighting for, she thinks this is my place. Why is this boy still here? And yeah, I think that's thing. But apart from that, I think everything is okay. I don't think anybody ever knows what they are doing. I think parenthood or motherhood is just, I don't know, I think God just gave us this thing. It's a natural something. You don't even know what you are doing. You just hope and pray that whatever you are doing will give you good results. Nobody ever really knows, oh, this thing that I'm doing, this is the result I'm supposed to get. Because sometimes you feel, oh, let me do this thing. It's good for the kids. But at the end of the day, it might not even be good for them. It's just God that helps us on this journey of motherhood. It's God that helps us day by day, step by step. You sleep, you wake up. Because sometimes the baby is crying. You think they are hungry. They are not even hungry. Probably they just want to sleep. Probably they just want a cuddle. Probably they are not even, there's nothing wrong. Maybe they just want to cry. Nobody really ever knows what they are doing. That's what I think. But it's just God that is helping us on this journey. And I can't be sure that, oh, what I'm doing, it should or it must give me this result. No. I just do it hoping and praying that it gives me good results at the end of the day for my kids. When I had my first, I asked myself, hey, will I be a good mother? Can I do this thing? How will I even know I have to give her food? How will I even know my daughter needs to do this? How do I know I have to do this for my daughter? What if she falls sick and I don't even know because she can't even talk? I mean, there were so many things running through my mind. But as the days went by, the months went by, a year came to pass, and my sister would call me and say, good job, I think you are doing well. When I came and saw Kukwa, she's looking so good. And my mom came to Ghana, she was like, wow, good job, you've done so well. I'm like, really? Everyone keeps saying, wow, you've done so well. I'm like, oh, I think I'm doing good. Well, so because you never know, this thing you never know. The more you even try to protect them from themselves, I mean, you say, Kukwa, within a twinkle of an eye, she has hurt herself. You don't even know how. I don't think anybody ever knows, oh, I got this. I have this under control. Oh, I know what I'm doing. It's not true. 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 I would say having to see my kids. When I see my son, maybe I go out, I come back. I come to, hello, 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 and he smiles. He recognizes me, and he wants to come to me. He doesn't want to go to anybody. It's just me. And Cookie is holding my dress and, mommy, mommy. I think that is it for me. I'm fulfilled. Just that alone makes me happy. That's wow. So they know I'm their mother. Like, just that thing. That is what blows my mind. That is what makes me happy. I mean, seeing them happy is what makes me happy. I don't want it to, and I just pray to God to give me the strength, to give me the means to keep making them happy. That is it for me. That's what makes me happy. I sleep and I know that, oh, Cookie asked me for this and I was able to give it to her. I know Juju needs this and I was able to do it for him. I wake up, maybe I open their cupboard and it's stocked with food and I'm happy. I mean, that's all they need for now. So yeah, that's what gives me fulfillment. For them to, for even Cookie to come and say, Mommy, juice. I'm like, oh, so you know you can have juice. I mean, I can provide juice for Cookie. Well, that's enough. Yeah, that's what makes me happy.
This video was brought to you by Medo Kids Shop.